I've been farming here for 35-ish odd years. Family-wise, the kids have been very much part of the farm from day dot.
Growing up here was great. We just had this single farm here, this side of the block. I was moved down to Wellington. I was working down there for a number of years and then decided to do the big move up to Hawke's Bay. Yeah, and I started my own accounting business.
We've got a 18-month-old called Rupert who keeps us pretty busy. But yeah, it's a pretty unique spot out here and yeah, we love the farm life.
Basically, as I say, lived in this district pretty much all my life and know it pretty well, yeah. Cyclone Gabrielle was huge. We hadn't seen nothing like it. I doubt actually whether my parents who'd farmed here all their lives had seen anything like it either. It was just off the scale.
Couldn't sleep
Yeah,
to a degree. I actually had to put earplugs in because the rain was that heavy that you wouldn't be able to sleep with it. Yeah.
It was like a water blaster coming in on the windows.
High pressure hose, that's how much rain there was.
Okay, we heard it. It was like, as a neighbour described it, freight train going past as the land let go up on the hills.
I was living in town with my partner in Napier. Woke up at night thinking there's a lot of rain coming down. Woke up to basically no power and we thought, oh, that's not very good. It's not such a good sign. I called my father down here at Patoka to see if he was alright and all of a sudden the phone just cut off. And then it wasn't till we heard the news that the main bridge to get out to Patoka down at Rissington had been taken out. And that's when I started to kind of freak out a little bit, thinking what the hell's gone wrong.
He's down on the home farm there and he's been there for probably now 40 years.
And being down there by himself as well, you know, and not having the contact with him, not knowing, you know, what contact he had with the rest of the family as well was quite daunting.
And then 4 or 5 days later, finally got some communication going. I knew that my brother was alright and Dad as well. And that's when we could finally actually come out to the farm to see all the devastation.
I managed to get to the neighbours. The hillside just came out of it and hit the side of their house. And they were sort of just in shock. I said to them, just come with me, grab as much as you can and you can stay with us. And so we had them for about 2 weeks.
Basically, I was driving my ute to the river at where the bridge got taken out. And then the army would boat me over in an inflatable boat to the other side where I'd meet either my brother or my sister-in-law on the other side in that ute and then drive all the way out to the farm. And that was kind of on a daily basis.
We have, you know, a number of stock on, say 2,000 stock at the time, and it was just mainly assessing where they all were and making sure they actually had water.
It was merely just trying to check on everything that was still standing, basically, and we still did lose 10 animals in the end. But then when you hear what happened down below, it pales into insignificance, basically. The slippage alone was massive, yeah, and that topsoil, it's going to take decades to be replaced, basically, if ever.
Quite a heavy feeling, like there's a lot of sort of turmoil both internally and hearing what was going on out at the farm and knowing that you're just absolutely helpless. But finally, once we started to get to normality and, you know, we had generators here because we had no power for about 6 or 7 weeks, we started to plan anyway of what we needed to do. As soon as FMG found out what had actually gone on here in Patoka, they knew it wasn't going to be fill out another form to get the ball rolling. As soon as we sent photos through, I mean, they could see what the damage was. I would literally just make a claim and then they would say, yep, send the photos in, boom, there's the money. So it was great. We would have had at least $500,000 of fencing damage, but unfortunately our cover wasn't as much as that. But at least we did claim for fence insurance, so that was one of the first items. Luckily, FMG came to the party and insured us for that. If we had gone through the cyclone without that cover on a few specific things, we would have been literally stuffed.
We even had a sort of a thing about doing a fence line a week. That was just trying to focus on that, and that was quite massive for us.
Taking the small ones as they come.
Yeah.
We had about 5 kilometres worth of road fencing to do for starters. Since we have to do that all by ourselves, we weren't going to do that, hand digging each hole. We looked at ourselves going, there's just too much to do. We need to buy a post rammer, so that was one of the first items we bought. And when that arrived, we were off.
One thing with Hamish, he does quite enjoy the fencing, so that's a big start. If you enjoy it, you keep on doing it, sort of thing.
Yeah, once that last post's in, I'm hanging up my tool belt.
Like families getting together and helping with like solar units and things just to get you kind of back on track, hey? So, with that support, of the community and, FMG, then it's been amazing, hey?
Yeah.
Having an event like this was actually quite, looking from a positive point of view, was actually quite good to bring the whole community together. Because there's some people, you actually don't even know who lives in that house, but since this, we were meeting every day.
Hopefully in my lifetime, we'll never experience it again, but
there are still constant reminders daily. I think that'll carry on for a lot of us for many years to come as well.
Once the farm's all fit and running back to kind of how it was, I think we'll be on the other side.